There's another announcement. Yeah. Okay, so save this for another Wednesday. God damn it.
What's up?
Are they putting like everybody for Street Fighter 1 and 2 in? Because that's what I'm questioning right now. But that's a topic for another day.
Mm.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Noir Watch Party. We're doing episode 7 and we're joined by the wonderful Anime Night and 2 and our resident Dragon Ball Queen, Jasmine. Say hi everybody.
Hello. Yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and again, there's the watch screen for anybody who wants to join in, and also if you want a panel to the link, just ask, and we'll happily get you in and everything, and we'll discuss like the episodes and everything. So far we're on episode 7. We just finished 4 through 6 last week, and we had some very interesting situations happen. So now we're gonna be watching the final 3 on disc 2, and then we'll discuss what happens after episode 9. So, without further ado, let's begin. And I got that up.
Cool cut. Amateur hour. Gotta make sure the body's dead. Now she got injured. Ah, there's the bells again. There's the chimes. The bells, they're coming in again. Oh, that was sick. Clever. Like the way she, the speed on that props. Those backdrops. Whew, wow. We're in New York now? Holy shit.
We're in New York now. We're in New York.
The secret technique of running away. Oh shit! What the hell? Wow,
Another one bites the dust.
it's good. This is a good episode.
Yes, indeed.
Ah, kiss of death, acceptance. A literal angel. Ooh, love the mirror. Ooh, this is a beautiful episode so far. Up, I know that bridge.
I just saw the Twin Towers.
The time capsule. Hey, Sergeant. We're all doing pretty good. Good episode so far. As always, in always a top time star. So, give us for a watch party too.
What's up, Sergeant? We're just watching Noir. We're on episode 9. Hey, Athanasia. Hope you're doing good. We're in the watch party right now. We're watching Noir episode 9. If you want to join in, the link is right there in the chat at the
Pretty
top.
interesting so far.
It has
She's
gotten
one of
very
the
interesting.
assassins, one with amnesia, not knowing who she is. Apparently, she's one of the more interesting badass, kind of John Wick and a few mysterious assassins. But this is really driving home by the storytelling. This has gotten really good in the last 9 episodes. Really good. I really like how this episode, she's hesitating with every shot.
I think that was the Benellium for the spas, one of them.
Hmm. I think you can kind of see it. Ooh, shot. Ooh, ooh. It's getting interesting.
It is the spas 12. I recognize the adjustable grip. Sorry, stock.
nice, nice fake out. Oh, too sick. Oh,
Oh,
oh yes, yes.
oh,
How was she thinking?
savage.
That was awesome. Oh shit! Wow! Wow! Well.
Wow.
Well.
Holy hell, that was a powerful scene.
Well, the last two are very much heavily story driven for our main lead.
So
Yeah.
let's see. In episode 7, we went to Pakistan. That's brand new actually, because
That's what it looks
we
like.
don't get that many. We don't get that Middle Eastern locations in anime. We don't get that many. So I like the fact that we had another change of scenery.
Yes, there's a lot of that in this
There's
show.
a lot of that. I think you're fine, Lilith. You're fine, Lilith.
No, you're
Well, well,
good.
you're good. You're good. So here's what I like about this series overall. We're getting a lot of different locations. You're not stuck in one area. Being in one area would be nice, but you would also have again. You're fine, Lilith. No problem. Jasmine saw the last two of Sonic Saturday morning with us before we started
Hmm.
Black Cat. So you're in the
Yep.
same one, but
I
that's
was
why we
way
love
late.
and that's why we go on the big discussion. So again, back to what I said I love about noir in general, all the different setting locations. It would be fine to be in one setting location. They could have been in Japan for all I care, or they could have been in New York City or go across America. That would have been fun. But I love this gives this series an excellent globe trotting adventure. You go from one area to, Italy somewhere, and then you're in France and Russia. Then you're in New York
Mhm.
City, which I recognize right away because I've been to the Big Apple before, in back in 2019 and everything. So I easily was able to recognize some location by seeing one of the bridges that I went on underneath for a taxi cab for the water cab. So I'm like, oh, I recognize that right away. You obviously saw the Twin Towers. Think about time capsule. Seeing the Twin Towers, I'm like, oh my god, it's the Twin Towers. Oh my god, like
Yeah, that's. I'm glad that this. Keep in mind, this was not altered. It's not altered. This is the original recording of it.
And
so
it's so
wow,
So
unique coming from an anime and whatnot to see the states and the Middle East and um
France,
all
Russia,
different
you name.
locations.
We see Greece in parts of the anime for now, but that's what I love about Noir. It keeps the setting fresh, but also at the same time, you're seeing the fashion change along with them, blending into certain areas or the people they're fighting with. With like, I mean, I'm glad the style is standing out. And when you look at certain landmarks, you would say, yep, you would see this from coming from a bridge or what uniformed cops are wearing, or kind of like the suits in New York City, because again, dealing with the mafia. So obviously, big suits and everything. Accents are kind of on spot for the most part,
Mm,
but you
yeah.
also look at the lighting for New York City, because if anybody's been to New York City, you know that city. It's the city that's nicknamed the city that never sleeps. So you would see the right lightings with sky views and everything. And when I saw that, I was like, "We're in New York City? Holy shit!" So you
yeah,
would see that with the architecture, along with the different churches they have in NYC. I've been to one of them before, and I'm like, I don't know if that was the right one I've been to that was in the anime, but you can definitely tell they got the right references and using different murals that they have in churches. So uh, this is what you're looking for these episodes, and what is standing out. Again, it would have been fine if we were in one setting, one area, but I love the fact every episode feels fresh. Yes, the assassins, the targets, they're same, similar, different, but again, look at the last time in Russia where it went from a guy from, yeah, he cannot be redeemed, but in his twilight years, he's doing some good to a, you know, in the Middle East revolutionary guy that they kind of
Mhm.
killed and shot. And then New York City, we're dealing with mafia. This show has it all. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it makes you understand just how much of an influence and how much effect the name noir must have because no matter where they go, this is a renowned um name and many people fear it and are aware of it, so it lets you know just how powerful and how much influence it has. It gives them more into like the unknown aspect of it because it just makes you want to know more and more about it.
and exactly. Plus, this anime came out in April 6th, 2001, and then it ran all the way to September 28th of that same year. So it is a time capsule.
For real. um but yeah, I mean, we found out a whole lot about not just, well, getting more into the meat and potatoes of the origins of noir, but we found out quite a bit about the past of Mariel and much more character development there. Uh, Past connections that, in their own way, in her own way, even though she was sort of the enemy, she was actually trying to help to grow Mariel as a character because she kind of posed a question to her like, are you essentially strong enough to kind of bear the name or bear the kind of title that you may may obtain in the future. I mean, as the saying goes, is like heavy as the head that wears the crown, and this is
And I
some.
like that scene. It's coming from them at a young age. Obviously, one is, you could say, preteen, close to a teenager, while Mariel is still the child. And when a child has to hear something like repeated in a way, it kind of sticks with them. That kind of like you're reminded of like some scenes in certain video games or shows, like in Assassin's Creed Revelation, Desmond Miles, he always hated the fact as a kid they made war stories sound boring because it was nothing about assassins and Templars. And he said, how in the world could you tell a kid war stories and make them boring? Because he has heard them so often as a kid that the ending of for everyone is, you are an assassin, you are an assassin. He hated that life, hence he escaped and everything. For Meryl, getting that from a young age, can you bear the weight of responsibility of a
Mhm,
crown? With
exactly.
it, kind of makes her shock and belief because she gets attacked, but the crown of her comes off at the end, and she's terrified. Yes, it's
Mhm.
a knife. Her friend backstabbed her, well, not literally until later in life, but how is a kid supposed to react to that? I think that it's a great question to pose. It makes you guess, and hence why I love this little detail when she realizes, oh, this is who they after. She's completely changed, going from the Meryl we know to, this isn't like her. She's always on target. She's always
Yep.
ahead of the game. Love those little details. That's what's solely missing these days in the writing room. Please, writers, this is how you do it. I love stuff like this. Doesn't always show that she's always there. Like just like with the war, she won't be there all the time. And this was probably her strongest episode so far. 8 and 9, wonderful episodes. Wonderful.
And we got it was a two-parter actually. We got a two-part in this, so that was a very wonderful treat. Um
Yep. That's when you know it's serious.
and when it becomes two part, because when we saw part one, we're like, oh, this is gonna be a two-part episode. Okay, I'm here. This better be good. And it did not disappoint. And also we got to see the mafia get tied into this as well, and the history of that, and me being around all watching all the old mafia movies and listening to some of the talks, they are very true. In that life, it's very dangerous, and that does happen more often than you think in mafia families. That does happen. We saw the granddaughter kill the grandfather and then inherit the title, and the omerta, meaning code of silence, that is bestowed upon the people who are actually in in the mob family and everything, with and also the made guy as well. Once you're a made man, you take that blood oath, you're bound to it forever. And of course, with the hits that we saw and everything, these people really studied. I give my hats off to the people who made noir. They really, like Joker said, with New York and everything, they did their homework and they actually represented that very well. I was genuinely impressed. Um, and I like the different. I'm glad we got to see the different guns too, like the AK-40, the AK-47, which we see far too often in the Middle East. That's the one gun you will see the most in the Middle East. That's the number one gun that you will see. Well, depending on where you're at in the Middle East, but we also did, and I also recognized the Spas 12 immediately because it has that pullback stock where you pull it down and then flip it and hold it like that. I recognized it immediately, but I was pretty shocked to see the let's see, it was the Beretta 93R that the blonde dude was using before he got shot in that epic fashion by one of our main characters. Because the Beretta 93R, the way he's holding it right in front of the lever where you pull the trigger and everything, there's a little adjustable grip that you can hold in the front of it. So it's kind of like a machine pistol, basically. And it does, and from the looks of it, it does have like the adjusted fire mechanic to it. I pay too much attention to firearms. I pay way too much attention. I'm sorry.
No, no, no,
Honestly,
no, no, you're fine. You're right. Even like me, like I keep saying, I'm trying to figure out like why they're using like even Lily pulls up a great question like why are the girls using these handguns where everybody else has superior? Definitely, it is a stylized choice. But what I've been trying to find, this comes from the Wikipedia page from Wikipedia for what they have out there. According to the director, he envisioned okay. There's two other shows to this, but kind of like for the sidearms, they wanted like a more modern image. Like they went through different like guns and everything with the experts. So kind of like one of them they decided on is the Welther P99
Yep.
and the Welther PPK and Glock 26 for the different types of guns. You'll see the ladies use along with Beretta, which is which we'll see later for a different character, the M1934. So that's be cool to see. And Meryl does use one of them too, which is the Weather P99. And then the assassins, the black suits, which we'll see later. We'll see the Sig Pro 234. So to me, I kind of like seeing different guns being used. So the usual, oh, grab the Desert Eagle and start running like a badass. I'm like, do you know how big those guns are? Do you know how much
Yep.
powerful
mhm.
these are? Like, I get it. It looks cool on film, but in reality, that Desert Eagle has serious kickback and everything. You are not going to be running and shooting, folks. That's why, like again, like the classic action films, they actually use some of the proper guns and holding techniques to be like, dude, like to shoot. So if you ever see a modern film that is using a 50 cal and they're shooting like crazy, like it's like nothing, that is incorrect because those 50 cals, you're gonna get kicked back. I should know. I have not shot a 50 cal before, but I have shot at my friend's land a long, long, long time ago before we get to go to land no more. I have shot my fair shares of shotguns over there, and I have shot
Mhm.
like an M1911, cool gun, and I shot a couple of revolvers. So I kind of know what some of the kickback are like for some of
Oh
these.
yeah.
So
I I've had experience firing two guns. One of them was the 12 gauge shotgun, and then the other one was a 24.
mhm.
I went flying on the
It-
24. I went flying on the 24. Like the kickback was cool. Like
it- it-
it knocked my ass back. So it knocked my ass back. So I
you're not quite
know.
holding the gun properly, or if you're not ready for these kicks, it the kickback is there. It's one thing you see it in shows,
But I like the
movies.
12 better because I had a
Yeah,
bit
the
more
12 is
control
there.
with it.
12
The
is,
12,
I
the
like the
12 would
12
be
as
a
well.
lot easier to use. In my honest
Yeah.
opinion, guys, if you're gonna get a shotgun, get the 12 first, and get used
But
to
also at
that
the same
before you go
time, take
higher.
proper gun safety class because you never know what level your stakes are. So always make sure you get the proper training. So when you're not experienced the correct kick and everything, they can send you flying. But back to Meryl. My goodness, I love her character. These are two great episodes. For like again, you see her past, the history. We're getting very, very much closer to. This literally could be like what she peaked in or what she saw as a kid, because you do see blood this time around, and I love her villain. This is a great motivation for her storyline. It's the right villain, comes from a childhood friend, and I love the fact that every time she's like shooting, at least at the start, she cannot get that image out of her head. I love this. It's showing you the audience what she's going through and telling you, even again, uh, uh, for Kikara or Noir, even her, when she is shot in episode 9, it's not like, oh, I'm fine. Like, no, she's legit shaking in this episode with that hand. So obviously she's
Mhm.
getting some repercussions back from episode 7 when she's shot back in the back for not finishing the job at first. But so I'm glad this is brought back in, and you kind of get these wonderful. Here's the problem that I'm having with problem. I just got shot in the back. Problem, they're coming after me still. What do I do? Solution, I'm going to hide in the sewers or this water well of ours and use the water to my advantage. Solution, I'm going to listen for the gunshots of the Spaz 12, then shoot them. So wonderful. That
That
was
was a
one.
badass execution.
That was a cool execution for the waterfall. But the other guy, all right, my partner's dead. Where can I find her? There she is. There she goes. Problem, we're both shooting each other going up the stairs or running out of space. Solution, the most badass scene so far in Noir. She is just gonna, oh wait, here she comes. She is gonna jump down, freaking Ghost in the Shell style. The Major will be damn proud of you. And I was like, all right, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. This must have been so fun to animate, or just be like, wait, we get to do this? And the timing is so perfect with the slow mo. All right, here it comes, here it comes. And then she shoots him. Pff, wonderful. Also, girl, how are you still alive? You should be dead as well, but I don't care. That was awesome. She figured out right away. She figured out like the descent and everything. I get
She
it.
is a
She's supposed to
piece.
be this mysterious assassin, but fuck it. That was awesome.
And also, we got to see the more human side of her because she not only got shot in the right arm, she got shot in the left arm this time, and she was struggling
And I
to
love the fact she got the bandage on right away to kind of like stop the shaking for a bit. But obviously, I'm hoping this comes back in later episodes to show more the human side of her. We started with the Russian dude in episode 6, but here in 7, she got to be more wounded in the side. So we got to see her more panicking and see her at another low point. But we got to see her now in 9 to how does she deal with pain and nervousness as the enemy is approaching it? How do you do this without Meryl? And she handled this pretty well. So again, I love that she's using different tactics to this as well. We got to see it in the early episodes, but here she was kind of a strategist. She was using things correctly more often. I'm like, damn, impressive. She was adapting to the situation. But then that showdown with Meryl, oh my goodness, that that's a good tense moment because you're thinking what's going to happen, and you're thinking, oh no, she's dead. Here comes Noir. I did hear the gun go off, and I'm thinking, oh no, she's too late, and I'm waiting for something. Good shot from that distance. Good shot. It's called audience expectations. But again, another here's the problem, here's the solution. Problem, you're too far away. Solution, can I, still shoot the knife? She's able to do it, but now it's like, uh-oh, I just tossed my gun. And the knife is over there now. You're not gonna use the hilt. Problem. Who's gonna get the knife or who's gonna get the gun right away? Solution. Meryl's got the knife, the other girl has the gun, but this time the roles are in reverse. Now the main female antagonist, she got to experience fear from that end. Like you notice that right away. Like yeah, she could have shot her, but notice how she froze up right away. It's like now it's on the other booth. That was wonderful. That was great. This is how you do it. And when she dies, it's kind of poetic, really. She became the head of the household for many years, exiled, everything. Now it's on the other shoe now. Now it's Meryl finishing off for good finally.
and unironically, she dies in the same place where she killed her own dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it came in a way, it came full circle.
Comeuppance.
But I loved these last three episodes. We got to experience different settings, different characters, new characters too, and I'm glad they kept I'm glad they kept the main antagonist for Muriel for more than one episode. I'm glad they kept her for another and gave her more of a story and everything before the climactic end in episode 9. I like that. I'm glad it was she because any of all the other characters we've seen, they get killed off in the one episode. I'm glad they were able to
Mm.
branch this out a bit more and everything. So that's a good thing. It doesn't hurt to give side characters a bit more story. It doesn't hurt to do it, and the flashbacks and everything, they drive it home, and it's like, oh crap, how is this gonna play out and everything? Because we never seen her this scared before. We never seen her this scared, even as an adult now. As a kid, then you understand, but as an adult, it's like, oh crap.
Yes, that was definitely one of her most vulnerable scenes, and I mean, you got to think if it wasn't for Noir, she probably would have died in that whole showdown because, in all honesty, she kind of dropped the ball. Um, but I mean, I think it's good for her character because it definitely fleshes out more of her backstory, and in a way, uh, in the whole throughout the whole stretch of these episodes, we kind of saw vulnerability from both sides of Noir, um, both Mariel and um, I forget what her fake name is, but Noir. She basically needing kind of Mariel to come to her aid to try to help her through that whole Middle Eastern fiasco. So I think it really is good for to kind of see both of these sides of the characters and to try to understand that they kind of need each other to basically kind of make it through all of this.
Oh, absolutely. And it goes to show like how different how time ages people and also bestows experience. Because as Joker said, the teenager had more experience, and the kid and the younger and the childlike Muriel, she was still a kid at that time. She had the bright eye, happiness and everything. And when you look at the scenes and everything, it hurts so much because it's like, damn, can we have that moment a little longer before everything went down? And it's the loss of innocence because her idol and everything after the flower crowns and then came the knife and everything. It's like, oh crap. But that was but that climactic ending for episode 9, that was beautifully done because we do hear the gunshot and it's like, oh, did she hit? Who got hit? Who hit first? And then the scary realization is the blade was there, but when we saw the tip go flying, we're like, oh, and it's suspense of belief. And now with that happening, um oh, I was too, Lilith. I was like, oh damn, already 9 episodes in, and already we're killing off the main character. As as sometimes happens in current anime. Sometimes one of the main characters does die in very bullshit ways that I will never understand. And
Yeah, almost looked like it was going there for sure. But it's a good thing that she was there just in the nick of time. In a way, it kind of exposed that she sort of wasn't ready for what her past nemesis was setting her up for.
Exactly. Also, the scenery shots and everything of Sicily, that was beautiful. I
They
love shots like
obviously
that.
must have gone on a big trip before, animating everything because kind of like what Araki did, like with all of JoJo, really. He did go on a trip with the money he got after so long, not just to visit the art museums and like in Europe and whatnot. He actually went on trips. He even said that in his book that he wrote as well, that he literally went to, you know, for part 5 was set in Italy. He went to Italy to study the architecture, the locations, everything, so that you would see if you went down a certain road, yes, you could see the Colosseum or these lion statues, you name it. He has been to Florida, folks, for part 6. He went to Florida. No, he did not get arrested. No, he didn't get arrested. That would have been a little funny if he did get arrested in Florida. But no, he went to Florida, studied the area. He did go to like a prison to kind of be like, okay, what's the prison like? What would they actually do here, and not just guessing. So obviously, to me, the animators and team, they're not just looking up. Oh, we're just looking up photos on the internet or just getting stuff. No, they probably went on a trip to like different areas, locations to be like, and are probably photographing stuff on what you would see. You would see these beautiful landscapes in Sicily, to these stone walls or these villas or the like the columns that we saw for the finale. You would see this somewhere, not just, oh, it's randomly put here. They obviously took a lot of time and detail to get these right because a
Mhm.
lot of these shots look very good. Even for hand drawn, this is really good detail that they're
and
capturing.
and
Again,
and the and the
look at New
cathedral.
York. Even when they're in the elevator coming down, you would still see, and if the elevator was clear, like they had it, you would see these beautiful city landscapes. If you're at night, you would see these shots. You would see these. I can testify. I've been to New York. You would see these cities, the Twin Towers, the bridge that connects New York and New Jersey. You would see this stuff there. So obviously they study, and wonderful job. It shows. I can't wait to see the other locations they have. Maybe some areas are going to get full access to, but even then, they're getting a lot of stuff right on what you would see and would not see. Even look at Paris, the first area we were in, Paris. Woo! That was
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Mhm. And yeah, and I think it really adds to the beauty of the show
The world.
because
The
Because
world is beautiful.
I feel like because
You
now
quote
it no,
Stanley Kubrick. I'm going to quote Stanley Kubrick here. You don't take a photograph of reality. You try to take a photograph of the photograph of the reality.
hmm and also we do have the I know we have CG and everything. I know we have that, but here I feel like I'm actually in these locations like New York, Sicily, Paris, um, Pakistan, and also like in Russia too. You feel like you're actually there. In CGI, it's very different. Yeah, it's more nicer and everything, but you don't get that same feeling because
As the legend himself, Otomo Katsetsika, says that when technology gets better, you could get obviously stuff to look better or to get close enough to his work, or he could say like any work, honestly. But nothing will beat a hand drawn project or like a hand drawn show movie. And when stuff is hand drawn like this, you can really appreciate stuff that is taking time and detail. Yes, technology's improved so much better that you can get stuff to look more clean or a little bit more, accurate to a degree, which is fine and all. And that within its own right,
hmm
it's still a lot of hard work to do, but there is something you can appreciate of them actually being there, or like stuff that really takes a long time to do by those wonderful, beautiful artists with the hands. That it's just another level of appreciation that I think
The
is still waiting for today.
the mural paintings in
The
in the
mural,
cathe-
ooh,
I
can't
can't
imagine how
imagine
long that took.
I can't imagine how difficult that must have been. Like,
Especially glass, like ooh.
and also like to get it in that style, like to get it in that style that matches the ones you do see in the actual cathedrals. I can't imagine. I mean, even with it up and everything, they must have had like something. I could picture them sitting in the designer room, like in the drawing room, when they're doing
Or
all
trying to
this.
get there in the actual like what's used for the actual reference, not just grabbing the camera and taking the photos, but they're probably studying from different angles, or maybe if they can get outside of it, like what's it look like from outside, like because you can kind of see the lighting coming
The
in. So that stuff they probably
and
paid close
that
attention
close up
to.
shot, the close up shot of that painting, you could tell that a lot of effort went into that, like to get it right, to have it match the setting of the cathedral and everything.
Again,
I
this anime uses a lot of light and darkness, and it does it really well here. Like I can imagine them like waiting at night just to get the right look. But they did wonderful, awesome. But I wish I could find one of these animators and just ask them what was it like working on this project. But they either are too busy working or we just can't find them. But who knows? They're probably still around out there. Would love to interview one of these people just to be like, what was it like working on this?
I did ask Dev Madonna about that. I did ask him, and
Yeah, that's like Cooper.
he told me it was a lot of fun despite the deadlines and everything. He still had a lot of fun designing, drawing the characters, and seeing it come to life. Like when it's all fully complete, it's such an amazing feeling. And he is right. Jasmine, the mural that you did for Akira Toriyama, I bet you were very proud when you
Oh,
that you did for Akira Toriyama. I bet you were really proud when that was completed, when you finished it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And months of work went into it, and that's the good thing about when these things are finally done. You can take a step back and you can be proud of just how much went into it, and that's the beauty of it all, the gift of it all, and seeing all of the work that was obviously put into this show. It's honestly like looking at a beautiful piece that's completed. Like you have the style of it all and the attention to detail and the music and the architecture. It's all one complete beautiful set.
Absolutely, and and it still holds up. Here we are in 2025. This came out in 2001, so 24 years ago. It still holds up to this day, and that's what. And I'm glad that the AVD DVDs are of these animes are here still with us physically, because Noir might be considered lost media if everything, because not much stuff survives, as mentioned, as what Phoenix Press said last night, and what Silent Bullet was talking about in the chat last night as well. Not a lot of things make it through with time, and I'm glad we have this too. That's why, I know I harp on this and everything, but it bears repeating. That's why all of us are pushing for physical media preservation. That's why we're all pushing for it, because it's all this. It's the beauty of watching anime or a movie from an era at the time where hand drawn was king, and it still is. It reigns supreme still. and I feel like we should be preserving these arts, and also teaching them too to the newer generation. I feel like that should be a thing. But unfortunately, people, as Lilith, I do agree with you on this. That right there's the issue. They don't want to do it. They rather just be like, "Here you go."
Yes, it's a reliance, too much of a reliance on technology and pumping it out faster. And sadly, with the rising of AI, that's probably not going to help it certain shortcuts being taken.
Oh yeah, I wholeheartedly agree on that one. Um, because it just doesn't feel right when you look at something and it's like you could just tell. You can just tell. That's why I have my channel artist who made these wonderful cards for me for my characters and everything. Oh, well, my cosplay. Sorry, and because that's actually from my channel artist. My channel artist did all three of those, and it, as you could tell, the detail is there and everything. My hats off to her for making those come to life. And yes, it is actually me in the cosplays. You could tell it's me
You can.
because I provided her with the photos of me in the cosplays. That's how you get your inspiration. Just look at something physical, like a photo of something, and then there you go. You have what you need. Now go and make it. Which reminds me, I need to send her the Android 17 cosplay photo um, and the Cosmo one I recently did. Cosmo was a lot of fun. I had fun with that. I had a great time. I had a great time with that one. Um, I
It's probably one you don't see every day.
Exactly, because I don't do these because they are easier to do. I do it based on the circumstances in my life. Because remember, I live in a very hot state during the summer, so I have to switch up my cosplays a little bit. That being said, I usually wait until like May or like between March and April to break out the sniper mask or the Riddler one, in whereas the Android 17 cosplay in the Cosmo and my Trunks one, I could just easily slip right on in. I could just slip in and I'd be ready to go. If I get too
Gonna
hot
get
at
my
it,
mother's help so I can fit into Gojo for my dress up darling in the school uniform because it's really easy to do. I just need a nice T-shirt, a nice white T-shirt, nice dress up polo one. Gotta find the right jeans and then a tie. That's all it is because I already have the black hair. He's so simple to do. That's why I got, folks. This is why I got this.
uh-oh. Yes.
This is why I
Yes.
got the plushie because when I wear Gojo, it's just gonna go up like this. Just wait a minute, everybody. If for
That
some
reminds me,
strange reason,
I need to get a Wanda plushie. I need to get a Wanda plushie for my
if
Cosmo.
for whatever strange
Oh,
reason,
really?
if there's like a Marin popping around, I'm just gonna go like, Marin, what are you doing over there? Or I'll just say, do we want to get a photo? I'll just hold the plushie like this, and then I'll be like, okay, set it down. Okay, come over here, three, two, one. Oh, that's how I'm gonna do it. That's how you get them.
But
Oh, I will say,
that's the beauty of what we do, huh, Joker? That's the
mhm.
beauty of what you and I do. But in all fairness, though, Noir is shaping up to be a respectable anime that deserves to be at the table of discussion. In
Amazing.
nine episodes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a
Mhm.
magnificent story going, and it was with ups and downs and the twists and turns. And so far, it's becoming more and more clear. We still don't know who the soldats are yet. We haven't seen them yet. So I like they're keeping the mystery going without just giving it away. I like the suspense build up. And also the many daring tactics of that lady. Good God, give me a fucking heart attack, why don't you? No one, no. I wonder
Yeah.
how she did get back up there. I wonder how she got back up. Cause yeah, I'm wondering too, Joker. Cause that ain't easy.
She does stop, so I wonder if she got like some rope or something, because you can clearly see, okay, she stopped somewhere or caught on to something. I'm like, that's like, how do you get back up with now? One, it breaking and you falling
Whew, yeah.
onto
How
your
did she?
feet at
Who
first.
pulled her back up?
That's the question. We won't know. Or if it does show, then it's like, oh, I just missed where she was hanging from. Because it does, because it looks like a long way down still, and you're falling head first. So, no, you're not surviving that.
um, but yeah, the craziness of her. Keep in mind, she only does this when she's alone. That's what's so creepy about this.
That woman is scarily badass.
Yep, and I'm wondering when we're gonna see them in the same room when she sees her doing those crazy stunts. But overall, Joker, what do you think of episodes 7 through 9?
These are really good. We motivate the story. We got the characters going. You also got to see Meryl rescue Kay, so that was wonderful to see. Shows you that even if one of the girls are injured or captured, they won't just leave them. Even she told Noir that, hey, you're not leaving without me because I can't find you. Without you, I can't find the main enemies. So clever. But then you see like Meryl's past a little bit more. There's a more understanding why she became the way she is nowadays, which is wonderful. This is what you need. It helps you motivate the stories. It helps you keep being engaged instead of having episodes that feel like one off from each other. They're fine to have one off each other, but you really need for a story like this and many others to keep the plot going. And boy, oh boy, it did. Now I'm looking at you, 10, 11, 12. What are you going to bring to the table?
I could just imagine the episodes 10, 11, and 12 just shaking in their boots right now. Like, how are we going to compete against that? How are we going to compete against that? Jasmine, your overall take on episodes 7 through 9.
Oh well, these were really interesting and really story driven, and got a lot of background on Meryl and just a glimpse into her past and what kind of shaped her, her challenges, overall challenges, which was good. I really am looking forward to learning more about her other half, her scarily badass half. I need to see some more vulnerability, some more humanity. She's very good. I mean, which she has a lot of. I mean, she reflects a lot on like why she's the way she is and why she doesn't feel certain things like other people does. But I really am looking forward to uncovering more of how she came to be the way she is and how did she get those badass skills of hers, because she really is a mystery, and the more you see from her, the more you wonder about her past and how she came to be.
Exactly that. Plus, it's nice that we got to see more new locations because I was pondering the other day, like on episode about episodes 7 through 9, where are we going to be at next? What location are we going to be at next? And I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed. I'm happy we're on the move and everything. We got to see the Middle East for the first time in anime, and it was very grounded. It wasn't like how it would be now in modern anime with all the crazy flying cars and all of that and what our typical anime do. This was more grounded in everything, and I liked that. It was like more down to earth and everything. The conflict's still going on, um, which is good. And I feel like this is a time capsule. You're right, Joker. This is a time capsule, and deservingly so. Um, Overall, I'm very happy with episodes 7 through 9. Ended on disc 2 on a high note with disc 2. Now comes the fun part where I'm gonna be switching the disc out and everything. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So I have some homework to do tonight, and uh, and hope for the best though. Um, don't worry, I am taking very good care of these DVDs and everything. I'm taking very good care. I made sure the first disc got back in its original case. It's back in its case and everything, and it's stored away. So I take very care. I'm very careful with what I do with the discs and everything because these are not easy to find. Um, but all in all, Joker, Jasmine, where do you think we're gonna go next? What do you predict for episode 10? Where we're gonna go next? What location are we gonna go?
Mm,
Because we're in Sicily. We were still in Sicily at the end of that episode.
I can't imagine where else they could go. I mean, they've already gone to so many places, but I don't know. Mm, would be cool to see maybe United Kingdom, England. Who knows? I mean,
Ooh, yeah, that would be good. Actually, I could. We have yet to see the United Kingdom. You're right. We have yet to see the United Kingdom.
but it's honestly, I didn't expect it to do so much globe trotting, but I mean, it's getting it in like episode by episode. You always see a new location, so I'm honestly impressed.
Yep. But Lilith, glad you were able to come by and watch with us on the final 2 episodes of Disc 2 of Noir. We'll be back again next. Did Joker? Joker left.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
guess he was really tired. So we're gonna go ahead and get. Oh,
Oh.
exit out of the wrong damn thing.
that's okay.
Let's see here. Possibly. Did we go to Germany yet? Did we go to Germany yet?
I don't
Did we go
think
to
we
Germany?
did because we let's see.
Trying to
So
remember.
far, we went to Russia, then we went to Italy, then we went to the Middle East and Pakistan. We went to New York and New
Oh, solid.
Jersey and New Jersey. Um,
Solid.
and then we went back to Sicily. So
Did we go to Germany yet? Trying to
oh,
remember.
and also Japan. I can't forget Japan because we were there in the first episode.
Hmm.
Um, I'm here in Germany, so Germany might be next in this in what Jasmine calls the globe-trotting adventures of noir. Hey, it
But
adds a nice ring to it. It adds a nice ring to it.
they're really on an adventure nearly in every episode, learning about the targets, the hitmans, the life, them always on the run. So, which is a good thing. But also the good thing, they can easily, two women, they can easily blend into the crowd very easily versus some of their other counterparts. So that's one thing I do like about that. They can easily blend into things right away.
And precisely that. Um, and also Lilith, thank you for joining us on the watch screen and everything, watching the two episodes with us. Glad you enjoyed it. I think we did. I think we technically did go to Brazil in a way. I'm trying to
Yes, I
remember.
think it's one of the episodes they were like in a jungle area for. I think that was like 5, 6, and 7 when they were
Yeah.
in more in tropical area, or at least they were somewhere in a jungle area ish, because they were on a beach somewhere. So
it's the you got
Hmm.
yo the
Uganda.
Ogain army. Okay, so it was them. Um, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see where we're gonna go next. Oh, they were in actually we were in Indonesia. We were in Indonesia in that one. The beach episode. We were in Indonesia. That makes sense. I thought it looked familiar. Um, but so far, oh, actually, we might see China. We
You
might,
never know.
because remember this
I
is a
get to
20 this
Greece at one point because at least the main storyline, when you hear Noir always comes in, and the earlier episodes, you always see this Greece cemetery with this mysterious woman. So eventually, we'll get to Greece. Eventually, I think that's where the whole finale is going to take place. But you never know. They're traveling everywhere. So China is not off the board at all. They could go to China eventually.
because remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 26 episode anime, so China could be in any of those episodes, excluding the first 9 that we've been through. So it could be in episode 10, or it could be in episodes 10 to 26. We will see, but I'm pretty excited though. Um, but all in all, guys, thank you guys again for coming on by. Had a great time tonight. Episode 7 through 9 are our master class in storytelling and suspense and drama and disbelief. And like I'm with Joker on this, looking at you. Episodes 10 through 12, bring something to the table. Come on, keep it coming, keep it coming. We like this, and I'm glad that the story got moved along too. That's the beauty of it. We got the story moving along. Um, anyway, guys, I am gonna get out of here. Everybody take care. Check out everybody's channels. Um, again, thank you to Sarah L. George, Sergeant Stadenko, uh, Athana Asia, a new face to the whole thing. Also Lilith, also new to the watch parties and everything. Appreciate each and every one of you. You guys take care. We'll see you all later. Bye.